the future of reaching millennials down the line, 5-10 years from now? How do you see that changing? We know social media is a big factor, mobile technology. Will it just skyrocket from here on? How is Latina Magazine preparing for that?
Yeah, so basically the habits, the way people are consuming media are changing so rapidly that it's almost difficult to keep pace with it. What I mean is like new apps appearing. And what's interesting is that Latinos over-index in social media. So a lot of companies, as I said before, are rushing to become mobile-first companies. So I see, it's definitely going to be more and more instantaneous. There's like this growing and growing insatiable desire for news now, and social media is a very important part of how any brand is going to get their story out and talk to that millennial audience. So I see this staying here for years to come.
Right, and then we talked about brands.
Right.
We're in PR, we're in public relations,
right.
So we reach we reach our audience through earned media, not really advertising.
Right. Right.
And so, wanted to get an idea of brands like the ones that we represent, Duncan Hines and the Ringling Brothers,
right.
Barnum and Bailey. What should they know about reaching not just millennials, but also women, Hispanic women, and men?
Right. So reaching Latinos in general, Latino women. So if you're reaching out to Latinas are, when it comes to things like fashion, they are very status conscious, and very budget conscious, but they also want to look really good. So I think this is an example that I give often because it's that very mixed, almost contradictory way of approaching consumerism, and I think that's what any brand that's smart is going to take the time to do. They're going to invest to really understand the psychology. Latinas, as we all have heard on and on, love and are very connected to their families, but they live in two very different worlds. One in which the responsibility to the family is very strong, and one in which, in the career place, they have the urgency of bringing their family along on their success. So understanding that's very different from our Anglo counterpart. So understanding how differently we live our lives. We are multicultural women. We embody multiculturalism in a really sophisticated way. And as I was saying before, we are part African American, or part Black, part Native American, part European. So we have this awareness of we embody this very different way. We love our bodies differently. For us, if we're doing a jean story at Latina, for example, the jean story is not about how to hide your butt, it's about how to make it look beautiful and bigger even. So that kind of different way of looking at life, is going to become more and more mainstream in the years to come, but right now it's very different. So I think it's investing in authentically speaking to this community through integrated marketing, as you said, but also understanding, what makes this community tick differently. I would spend a lot of time understanding that psychology and the issues affecting her. She's 100% American and 100% Latino, so you're not going to go in only in one of those ways.
Right.
You've got to go in at both ways to speak to her. That's how you're going to create great content that's going to move her.
Right.
You know what else I think of? I think of Jane the Virgin.
I was thinking of her too.
Yes,
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, she's amazing. Gina Rodriguez, we put her on our March cover. Sorry. Gina Rodriguez, we put her on our March cover, and she's really amazing because she's Puerto Rican from Chicago, super educated, really wants women to educate themselves, Latinas in particular, and
she's dynamic.
And she's really dynamic. She's super funny. She's the whole package, and she's beautiful. She had health issues she had to overcome and educate herself about, and her family didn't want her to become an actress. They wanted her to be a doctor or a lawyer or a banker like her other sisters, and she chose what she loved, but she decided to really know everything she could about it and really learn how to act in the best, learn her craft in the best way possible, so it would be authentic and it would be high quality.
Right.
We want that. That's what any human wants.
Right.
We want, and especially in a country like in America, where we're constantly seeking the next big thing. Latinos are on that wave also.
And just on that point, I was thinking of Jane the Virgin, and I've seen the show, and I only just started seeing it because she won the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
And that show's fabulous.
Yeah.
Because I can
It's so
relate
great.
to it so well.
It's so
but the thing
great.
is that they don't don't knock the race down.
No.
They give, and it's it's in the U.S. It's an American show
It's so well done.
That's given the Hispanic woman like a view that not many Americans see.
It's so empowering.
So I wonder how that's going to impact things like the presidential race coming up. There's supposed to be candidates that are Marco Rubio and all of that. I mean, the way that they reach many of us, it's going to be different, especially for the Republican Party, because they've lacked that.
Yeah, the Latino voting bloc, Latinas also are extremely important. We are the swing vote.
Right.
Our community supported George Bush, and before that supported George Clinton, Bill
Clinton, yeah.
And after George Bush supported Barack Obama.
Right.
So
I'm among those.
Yeah, exactly. So and so. Republican parties, Democratic parties are, again, like any major brand, going to have to really go in and speak authentically. And it's not enough just to make pretend you speak Spanish anymore, to like get our vote. No, it's going to be like that you understand that we have bifurcated responsibilities and pressures, so that's going to be the way in.
Perfect.